Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. Now, if you enjoy my reading, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. That way you'll be notified when I upload new weekly, monthly, bi-monthly, daily, and the extended weekend readings. So today, what I will be doing is the extended weekend reading. This will be for the energy surrounding us for the weekend from Friday, October 20th through Sunday, October 22nd, 2017. I will pull 3 tarot cards from the Sun and Moon Tarot deck, and I will pull 1 additional oracle card from the Earth Magic Oracle card deck, just for, an additional message to add to the reading. I'll remind you that these readings are general, right? So the messages may or may not resonate with you. For a more personalized reading that focuses specifically on you, please feel free to contact me at the email listed in the description box and the About section of this channel, changingphasestarot@gmail.com. You can also take a look at my website that has all of the information about the types of readings that I offer and the pricing for the readings. That website is changingphasestarot.weebly.com. And you can also follow me on Facebook, right? Changing Phases Tarot Readings. So just if you'd like to check out my Facebook page, please feel free to do that. But let's get started. We'll get started with the energy for our extended weekend tarot snapshot. See you in 1 second for the shuffle. Okay, so we will start off with the tarot cards for the weekend of October 20th through October 22nd. Now, I have already been meditating and shuffling the cards off camera, but let's just see, Spirit, what energies do we have surrounding us on the weekend of October 20th through October 22nd, 2017. What do we need to know? What are the energies surrounding us on the weekend of October 20th through October 22nd, 2017? Please show us the messages for the weekend of October 20th through October 22nd, 2017. Okay, divide into 3. All right, so our first card that we have for the weekend is the 2 of Wands, followed by the Hanged Man, Major Arcana. And the last card out, well, another Major Arcana, the Fool. So it looks like some new beginnings for this weekend. Okay. And we will pull 1 additional card from the Earth Magic deck. Spirit, what additional messages do you have for the weekend of October 20th through October 22nd, 2017? What do we need to know? This one felt like it wanted to come out. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Look, card says Forest Breath. It's beautiful green, right? Look at all the greenery in this card. Beautiful. Okay, let me just set the cards up so we can see them a little better, and then I will get back with the meaning for our reading. See you in 1 second. All right, so I set the cards up so we can see them a little better. And I don't usually, for the weekend reading, I don't usually look at the bottom of the deck, but when I was setting up the cards, I just had a really strong feeling to turn the deck over and see what card was there. And actually the card that was at the bottom and the one below that, they really go along with the rest of the message here. So I've decided to put it here. It might be a little bit longer, our reading, but I just felt the need to do that. Okay, so if we take the card that was at the bottom of the deck as our overall energy for the weekend, and this is also, really in line with the other cards, it's all about endings and beginnings. Okay, so this was its Major Arcana card, right? In this particular deck, it's called the Universe, but we know that in the traditional tarot deck, it's called the World card. And interestingly enough, we have is the outbound energy for the week, right? We actually have 3 Major Arcana cards out of this 4-card spread. So whatever's going on over the weekend, there's a lot of divine intervention here, right? A lot of divine guidance. It's the universe kind of stepping in and moving things along. And we know that the Fool, this is the 0 card. This is the first, it's the first card in the Major Arcanas, right? And the World or the Universe is the last card. So the Universe is the culmination of the Fool's journey. So, it's a card that speaks of endings, right? Endings and new beginnings, because we know that, much like the Death card, much like, even the Tower card, although it's a different energy, but we know that, after something ends, something else has to begin. So lots of, definite energies here of endings and beginnings. This is a very positive card, right? So the World card, it's a card that has to do with prosperity, victory, completion of something. Usually this is, since it's the last card, right? This, it indicates a completion of something that you have worked very long and hard to achieve. So, a very long cycle coming out of a very long chapter in your life, whatever this is. This could be, and looking at the other cards, I could see this being in many different areas. It's very hard to sort of pinpoint it in a general reading. But if we think of this as, this could be in the work sector, right? You could have been at one job for quite a long time, but now is, that time is ending and you're moving on to a new opportunity. If this is a relationship, maybe you are ending a relationship and this has been, you've been in the relationship for quite some time, but it's, for whatever reason, it's ending and this is a new beginning. So, this could be leaving one home, right? Moving to a new place, getting a new house somewhere else. It could be many different things. As it's the World, there could be some type of international travel associated with this newness, this new chapter, right? This could be something new in a different city. Maybe you're taking a job in a new city across, in a different state, across the country, or even in a different country across the world, right? It could be many different things. But just overall, a very, very good energy to have, right? Very positive, and it has to do with also enlightenment, because this card, it does represent sort of obviously the culmination, like I said, the end of the Fool cycle. So supposedly, the Fool has gone through all of the trials and tribulations throughout, all of the Major Arcana cards to end up here. So there's been a lot of spiritual growth, a lot of emotional growth, a lot of intellectual growth here. So, a very good card to have as the overall energy for the weekend. What we have here, so going through the 3 cards for the reading, we have the first card, so this will be the energy coming into the weekend, right, or into Friday, the 2 of Wands. Now, Wands is fire energy, and this is obviously represented here on this card very beautifully with all the fire in the background. The Wand suit has to do with, it's obviously, since it's a fiery suit, it has to do with action, right? It's making things happen. It's the creativity, passion, and this could have to do with many times with work, right? Or things that we're passionate about, but it does have a lot to do with our work, career, or different projects that we're involved with. With the twos are usually, they're about balance, and they're also about choices, right? If we think of them, like the 2 of Cups card, right? The 2 of Pentacles, it's the balancing of finances or different areas of our lives. With the 2 of Wands, it generally has to do with a choice of path, right? When we kind of think of somebody being in the say in the woods, and there are 2 paths that you have to follow, or you don't know which one to follow. It's making that choice, And then everything that sort of comes after that, it's the result of that choice. So in this deck, it does have to do with that, but it also has to do with balance more, and you can see, I'm not sure if it's at the back clear, but the man's clothes here, they're black and white, right? As he carries, sort of, it's all mixed up, black sleeve with the white part here, black part here with the white sleeve on that side. So it's kind of that yin-yang duality energy represented on this card. I love this deck because the deck incorporates so many different symbols on each card and so many different sort of interpretations. And so you can see that there is this duality involved here, right? The card itself is called Dominion. And, the Two of Wands has to do with choices and generally choosing a path. So if we think about this being, like I said, this could have to do with, moving to a new job or something along those lines. Or even if it does have to do with, relationship, this is could be choosing between, what you know, so the known versus the unknown here. This could be, but it also has to do with seeking out new challenges, right? So it's setting off on a new challenge, but having to make some type of, decision and finding balance, I guess, in your life after that, making that decision. So there's some type of decision that needs to be made here, right? Quite an important decision, yeah. But you see that the person is standing there facing the flame. So facing this somewhat challenging, exciting, yet a little bit scary energy. And when we think about any choice that we make, right? If we have been in a job for quite a while, and then, you're used to the routine, and you're very sort of, you're used to going to that office, you're used to the people there, or if you work in a different, in a school, you're used to going there and seeing all the people. But, so when you set off for something new, it is exciting, but at the same time, it's kind of daunting. It's scary, right? So I get this excited, but, a little bit scary to make this, whatever this decision is here. What comes up in the middle, is an interesting card. So we have the Hanged Man here. And the Hanged Man is a major arcana. This is number 12 in the major arcanas. And he is all about seeing things from a different perspective. Obviously, we see him here represented, he's hanging upside down from this tree, right? And it does go along with the needing to sort of face, whatever this new thing is, and sort of be fearless as you make the decision here. But it also kind of reminds us that if we see things from the same vantage point all the time, if we see things from the same position, if we keep the same sort of our same ideas about things, it's very difficult to break out of whatever this is, right? Sometimes we're called to see things from a completely different point of view in order to be able to see the opportunity that lies there, right? That if he was the right way up, maybe he wouldn't be able to see that opportunity, right? So it's seeing things from a new perspective here. It also has to do with, much like the energies here and at the end, breaking out of old patterns, right? So sort of flipping things on their head, just like he's upside down, right? Flipping things on their head, staying true to yourself, right? Being true to who you are, but being able to see something from a different point of view. So, there's something new trying to come in here. Usually with the Hanging Man, it indicates a period of reflection, sort of taking time out, waiting. So it is a little bit of stagnant energy, but it's stagnant, but at the same time, there's transformation, or there's something going on with you during this stagnant period. So maybe you've been considering this decision, right? Which way to go, if it's to leave a job or leave a town or move to a new home. You've been reflecting on it. You've been analyzing everything, right? Taking that time out. And where you are at the end of the weekend, you're just ready to go. So the Fool is, like I was saying at the beginning of the reading, the Fool is the 0 card in the Major Tarot. So it's actually the first card, but it's numbered 0. And it's all to do with newness, right? It's all to do with being fearless, right? We can see here that the person is standing here on the edge of the cliff. There's looks like a crocodile or an alligator, whatever it is, down here in the water waiting, right? The person is kind of ready to step off of the cliff, but the sun is shining on the person. So even though this is a little bit daunting and a little bit scary, right, there's positive energy here. We see the butterfly flying around the person. That's all about renewal, rebirth, right? So it does have to do with, being fearless. Sort of take the risk. Take that risk. In this deck, it also has to, the meaning of the card is a little bit different. Kind of tells us to develop both our male and female sides in order for us to reach wholeness, which kind of goes along with this, right? Embracing the light and dark, the yin and yang, the male and female energies and principles here, right? So that duality is a little bit of that involved in this card, but more than anything, it has to do with transformation, right? So it's the transformation, it's the the person, the self growing, evolving, and it's about starting off on a new path. So with the overall energy being the universe, and the card that was beneath that was the Ace of Wands, which is, again, new fiery energy, something new coming in, could be a new job offer, something definite new, right? New energy and new things, and you are poised here and ready to take off on whatever this new adventure is. So, this looks like a great weekend. I love these cards. Let's just take a quick look at the Earth Magic card. So I'll read from the book for this card. The Earth Magic deck, the Oracle cards generally come with a guidance book. It has quite a long description of the card. I'll pick out just a portion of it to read to you just to give you the main idea of the card. But as you can see here, this is a beautiful scene of being in a forest. And when we think about how we feel when we step into the forest, right, we're kind of overtaken by those, by all of the trees and the beauty of nature. And we kind of feel ourselves, wanting to breathe more deeply. And so this card has to do with the importance of breathing, right? And how many times when we get anxious about something, and especially if we're having to make a decision, right, we can tense up and not allow ourselves to breathe as properly. And so the card, I'll just read it. It says, your breathing is too shallow. Although it may feel natural, it is an unhealthy habit that causes this shortness of breath. When you subconsciously shorten your breath, no matter if this is habitual or triggered by some event or circumstance, it activates certain psychological signals that prepare your system for fight or flight. Another conditioned response to perceived danger is to hold your breath. This is your survival response, although it does not serve you to do so. So breathe. Inhale deeply, regardless of your concerns, worries, or problems, then let it go. Next, allow yourself to breathe a little deeper and slower a few times. Remember that every breath you inhale is a gift, and every breath you exhale is a gift. The forest is a clear reminder of how this works. And I think that this could maybe have to do with this decision. Maybe you've been sort of agonizing over the decision for quite a while. Maybe you've been debating and wanting to set off on this new path or new job or new relationship, but you've felt a little anxious about it. And many times, especially for people who actually suffer from anxiety, right? And it could be any form of anxiety or social anxiety or anything like that. We tend to tense up, and our breathing does become very, shallow and shortened. So remember that as you work through this, just trust in the universe, right? Trust that things are happening in divine timing as they're supposed to. Remember to breathe, right? It's all going to work out. It always does. Everything always works out in the end. Just kind of let go, right? Breathe deeply, let go, knowing that you are setting off on the right path for you at this point in your life. So I love this reading for the weekend. Very nice. Thank you for joining me here today. I do hope that the message has helped you in some way. If you'd like a more personalized reading, please contact me, changingphasestarot@gmail.com. And just know that I'm sending you all much peace, love, and light. Bye.